My fiance banned my daughter from our wedding. Now she's harassing us after I called off the engagement. I'm 45, and my daughter Polly is the light of my life. She's 11 now, from my previous marriage, which ended amicably. My ex-wife and I share custody and get along fine, which makes things easier for Polly. After our split, I met Sharon. We hit it off, and Polly adored her. For 5 years, we built a life together. When I proposed, I thought I was sealing the deal on a new chapter for all of us. Turns out I was dead wrong. Sharon was over the moon when I popped the question. She dove headfirst into wedding planning, venues, flowers, dresses, you name it. She started assembling her bridal party and casually mentioned that her niece would be the flower girl. I didn't think much of it until I brought up Polly. Polly would be a perfect flower girl too, I said, imagining my daughter beaming in a little dress. Sharon's response? A hard no. She didn't think Polly suited the role. At first, I thought she was joking. Polly is bright, kind, and loves Sharon. Why wouldn't she want her involved? But Sharon doubled down. It's my wedding, she said, her tone leaving no room for discussion. I get to decide these things. That hit me like a gut punch. I told Sharon flat out that Polly would be part of the wedding, or there might not be one. She brushed me off, acting like I was being dramatic. But this wasn't just about some flower petals. It was about my daughter feeling loved and included. I left that conversation furious and took Polly out for ice cream, trying to hide how torn up I was. Polly didn't know the details, of course. She was just excited about the wedding, rambling on about dresses and flowers. I hope Sharon picked something pretty for me, she said, smiling like this was all a given. Hearing that broke me. How could I let someone exclude my little girl from such an important day? I decided to take a step back and crash at a friend's place for a while. I texted Sharon, explaining that I needed space to think. The response? An avalanche of texts, not from her, but from her mom. Apparently, I was overreacting and ruining the wedding. Polly doesn't need to be in the ceremony, her mom wrote. She could just sit with your parents. That comment pushed me over the edge. My daughter wasn't a guest at this wedding. She was family. I wasn't asking for something unreasonable. I wanted Polly involved, whether as a flower girl, a junior bridesmaid, or even standing next to me as a groomsman. But Sharon shot down every idea, saying it wasn't appropriate. Even the father-daughter dance I dreamed about was off the table. I tried to have one last conversation with Sharon, but it was like talking to a brick wall. She accused me of prioritizing Polly over our wedding and said I was being controlling. Controlling? For wanting my daughter to feel included? That was the final straw. I told Sharon the wedding was off. She cried, begged, and even accused me of being unfair. But how was this fair to Polly? I wasn't about to marry someone who saw my daughter as an inconvenience. Calling off the wedding unleashed chaos. Sharon turned to mutual friends, spinning the story to make me look like the villain. He's throwing away our future over something so small, she'd say. Small? My daughter isn't small. She's my world. Then Sharon upped the ante, showing up at my house unannounced, sobbing on my porch, begging me to reconsider. When I didn't cave, her tears turned to anger. She started leaving voicemails accusing me of ruining her life and threatening to tell everyone that I was a bad father. I blocked her number, but the damage was done. Friends started calling, asking if the rumors were true. Polly, thankfully, was shielded from most of the drama. She knew the wedding was off and asked me if it was because of her. That question broke me. I hugged her tight and told her she was the most important person in my life and that nothing would ever change that. Eventually, Sharon moved on, or so I thought. A few weeks later, she posted a long rant on social media about how I had abandoned her for my daughter, painting me as selfish and unreasonable. Mutual friends were divided. Some supported me. Others bought into her version of events. I didn't care. At the end of the day, I knew I'd made the right decision. Looking back, I realized this was never about a flower girl or a wedding. It was about respect, priorities, and love. If Sharon couldn't accept Polly as part of my life, she couldn't be part of it either. Love isn't about compromise when it comes to your kids. It's about protecting them, uplifting them, and making sure they know they're valued. So, yeah, I called off the wedding. And if I had to do it all over again, I'd make the same choice every time. No regrets. Life is a funny way of throwing curveballs, and these past few months have been nothing short of chaotic. After calling off the engagement with Sharon, my priority was ensuring Polly felt safe, loved, and included in every part of my life. Despite the drama, Polly and I found our balance. And surprisingly, a new beginning with someone I never expected. When I last updated, Polly and I had just returned from Hawaii, a trip that was supposed to be my honeymoon, but became an incredible bonding experience with my daughter. She's still talking about the trip and has already asked if we can make it an annual tradition. Her favorite memory? Swimming with dolphins, something I never imagined doing, but will always treasure. On the Sharon front, things escalated briefly before they fizzled out. After the restraining order was granted, Sharon and her mother went quiet. The letters stopped, and I haven't seen them since. According to her brother, Sharon has moved on with a new boyfriend, though there's still some lingering bitterness on her end. At this point, I don't care. My focus is on Polly and our future. Now, for the part one never saw coming, my ex-wife. After everything with Sharon, she reached out to check on Polly and me. It started with casual conversations about co-parenting and how Polly was handling the upheaval. Then, while packing for Hawaii, Polly innocently asked why her mom couldn't come too. I laughed it off at first, but the thought lingered. Why not? I asked my ex-wife to join us on the trip, and to my surprise, she agreed. What began as an effort to give Polly some normalcy turned into something neither of us expected. We spent those days reminiscing, laughing, and realizing how much we'd both changed since our divorce. It wasn't some grand romantic gesture, just two people reconnecting over shared love for their daughter and realizing we might still have something worth fighting for. Fast forward to today, my ex-wife has moved back in with Polly and me. It's been an adjustment, but a good one. Polly is thrilled to have both her parents under one roof again, and honestly, so am I. We're taking things slow, focusing on our family first, and letting everything else fall into place. Looking back, I realized calling off the wedding with Sharon was the best decision I've ever made. It wasn't just about her wanting me to sideline Polly. It was about realizing what kind of life I wanted for myself and my daughter. Polly and I are a package deal, and anyone who doesn't embrace that has no place in our lives. So, here's to fresh starts, unexpected reunions, and always putting your kids first. Thanks to everyone who offered advice and support during this whirlwind. It meant more than you'll ever know. For now, I'm signing off, content with where life has taken us. Funny thing is, people kept telling me I was being unreasonable, that I'd regret calling off the wedding. Maybe one day I'll look back and feel differently, but right now I know I made the right choice. Life's funny like that. It throws you curveballs that remind you what really matters. Polly and I are a team, and no one's coming between us. If you've made it this far, you probably get it too. Love that demands you choose isn't love at all. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If you have any thoughts, I'd love to hear them. So please leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more stories like this one.